Hey there, Amplifiers. Regardless of what's going on in the world, it's important that you don't get so caught up in all of the chaos that you take time to really assess where you're at and making sure that you're on the right trajectory to where you want to go. Our guest today is the owner of Access Accounting, and I'd like to welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Lindsay Reed.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I am very much looking forward to sharing a little bit of knowledge with all of your lovely audience and hopefully help people get through what has definitely been, I believe, a very challenging year, not only for business owners, but for people in general. So I am Lindsay Reed, as you said, owner of Access Accounting. I have been working with small businesses for over 20 years now through good economic times and bad. I've been helping clients who not only have seen that growth trajectory and are doing very, very well, but also in a position where maybe they're not doing so well and want to make a change.
Excellent. So what we're going to be talking today about is really kind of taking a step back and how important it is, because sometimes in our own worlds, we can get tunnel vision and we're just moving forward so fast that we don't take a step back to make sure, are we going in the right direction? And if we're even off by a little bit, we can go on in a completely other area that's not where we're looking to go. So if you could kind of share, how's the best way that you recommend approaching this for some people to get an idea of where they're at?
Absolutely. You made such a good point. Analyzing where we are is so important. I always like to talk to clients. There's three main keys that we are always constantly wanting to be evaluating. That's where we want to go, where we are, and how we're going to get there. And without those three keys, it's very hard to not only know where we are, but essentially where we want our business to go. And in that evaluation process, like you said, sometimes clients can have extreme tunnel vision. It is very important to be able to take that 30,000-foot aerial view look of your business and how it's going. And sometimes it's important to bring in someone else who has an outsider perspective, who doesn't have the emotional connection to your baby, which is your business.
Right. I like to tell people, we all have a blind spot because you can't see the frame if you're in the picture. So even if you really kind of have that experience, knowledge, and you've done good in the past, everyone has a blind spot. So just getting a fresh eye could be really helpful. What's something that you see pretty commonly that's a blind spot, a common blind spot that a lot of businesses tend to have?
Definitely employees. That is the biggest one. A lot of times business owners will become friends with their employees as opposed to the boss. And I walk in and an employee is unfortunately most times underqualified and overpaid for what they're doing and not really doing a service to the business. They're not having any type of return on what their expenditure actually is for the business. And sometimes that is the first spot that we can take a look. It's very painful, I know, because we want to make sure that we are providing an excellent work environment, but that can happen with extremely qualified people and making sure that we're maintaining that, for lack of a better word, but boss and employee relationship. And I think that evaluating that spot, it is one of the larger expenses for businesses, and constantly evaluating that and making sure that we have the right people in the right places.
I think that's a very awesome point. And just a couple people just came into mind that I could think of. They're very nice and they're friendly. And it's not that you shouldn't be a nice and friendly employer, right? And you could even have somewhat of a friendly relationship, but you've got to have a process or a system to how you can define where that line is. And I think that's getting some clarity to make sure, like, am I letting Susie no offense, Susie, I don't even know a Susie. Yeah, I do. What am I talking about? Am I letting, Susie, the example, get by with doing something that she can do, but maybe isn't her best skill? And if so, that's a disservice to both her and to the business. So that's a great point. So for people that maybe want to get a little bit bigger perspective on their business or learn more about you, what's a good starting point?
Absolutely. Well, you can always reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to, help direct you. You can contact me via my website. I do have a ton of videos on YouTube, and 2021, I'm going to focus on creating more content that can really help with this aspect. I do a lot of training videos where it comes to accounting software and that type of thing, but I think that the business evaluation portion is going to be extremely crucial as we move forward into 2021.
Awesome. I love that, because one of the things we talk about a lot on this channel is just how small little improvements can make huge results. It's just like, just a little change here, but look, it made a big shift over here.
I tell my clients that all the time. You hit the nail on the head. It's that 1% change every day, that consistency that moves you more towards your goal instead of away from it. And you'd be surprised in just 3 months what clients can do with a little bit of focus.
Awesome. So could you plug that website address for us again?
Absolutely. It's online, ACCTG.com. So it's accounting abbreviated.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Is it very helpful? And I encourage you again, you're listening, you hear this stuff, and it's easy to say, yeah, that's kind of something I should do. Don't just listen, take an action, just get an assessment. It doesn't take a lot of time to do that, but the amount of time you'll save in the long run will be huge.
Absolutely. And just one last thing, check with some accountants in your area. I know that I'm doing a free assessment for businesses right now to really give them an idea of where they're standing. So I'm sure there's other people in other areas of the country that are helping with that as well.
Awesome. Thank you again for sharing this insight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's make sure that we put it into action.
Yes, absolutely. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate you.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.